Okay, so here's a situation I'm sure we've all been in before. Have you ever been in a situation where you had to hold in your laugh because you knew if you didn't, you'd probably piss a lot of people off? Well, that has most certainly happened to me before, and I'm gonna tell you a quick story of probably one of the worst cases where this happened to me. I'd say I was around the age 15, and me and my older brothers used to go to our friend's house all the time and just hang out, play video games, do typical fun young people stuff. And one day, we're just talking, and two of the younger boys that lived there told me this story about their great-grandfather. So right away they open up with these expressions that say whatever the story is going to be, it's going to be very somber and not a laughing matter, basically. So I'm sitting across from them and they begin telling me this story about their great-grandfather. Their great-grandfather used an electric wheelchair to get around, and he had some alcoholic beverage in there, and he's buzzing around in his wheelchair, and it somehow manages to start leaking behind him. I guess no one noticed, but yeah, he's unknowingly leaving a trail of alcohol following behind him. Someone puts out a cigarette and tosses it casually on the ground. The cigarette lands in the alcohol, makes it catch fire. The fire trails over to his wheelchair and sets the wheelchair on fire. Now, this is the part where I'm looking at them and I am resisting laughter because I'm imagining this in my head and I'm saying, what are the odds? This can't be real. And so it gets worse. The wheelchair sets on fire and he starts doing donuts in his electric chair to sort of, as an attempt to make the fire go out. I was sitting there holding in my laughter as best I could because I'm imagining an old man in an electric wheelchair on fire doing donuts, and it was just the hardest thing in the world. But I stayed strong. And held my composure through all that. But then they ended the story by saying that when his wheelchair caught fire, he actually exploded. His wheelchair explodes and that he actually lifted off the ground and landed back on the floor and died. So right there, I'm peaking, just bursting out laughing, and they still have those sad looks on their faces. So I'm like, if I laugh now, I'm getting kicked out and our friendship is over. They top it all off by saying it was his 100th birthday. I knew right there it was over for me. Like, this is it. I'm not going to be able to hold in this laugh. I'm staring into their sad, soulless eyes while the room begins to spin as I sink deeper and deeper into madness as I try my very best to hold in what is left of my strength and will not to laugh. And then I burst out laughing right in their face. I mean, I couldn't hold it in. It was impossible. But luckily, this story has a happy ending. To my surprise, they started laughing too. I mean, they burst out laughing, and I couldn't believe it. Oh, I feel so terrible. I have never heard of such a well-coordinated death. If I died like that, I'd be laughing at myself as a spirit. God bless that man's soul. No hard feelings, okay? I'm going to hell.